Do you ever feel lost or stuck in life? Maybe you're facing a tough business decision. Maybe you're in a relationship that seems to be going nowhere, and you're just not sure what to do. Or perhaps you're going through a major life-changing transformation and need some guidance. There's no reason to face life's obstacles alone. Mari Rose is a life intuitive, author, and teacher, helping to bring new light to your rapidly changing world. She's here for you, to channel guidance to assist you in navigating your daily life with a renewed sense of clarity, empowerment, and joy. For a personal reading with Mari Rose, call her at 702-807-6495. That's 702-807-6495. Or you can visit her on the web at mari-rose.com.
Welcome to Change Your Layers, Change Your Life, your home for learning about an enlightened approach to self-awareness and the art of higher consciousness. Now here's your host, Mari Rose.
Hello, welcome back to Change Your Layers, Change Your Life. My name is Mari Rose. I'm intuitive, and if you ever need guidance to help you kind of connect and navigate through your daily life and find some happiness, joy, maybe some answers, give me a call. I'm here every week on this radio station, and we do have a call number that you can call for a question. It's 702-609-7626. Which means that I will be taking one caller at my end of the show, and you can ask a very personal question or a question that needs some answers. So I'm always here. But what you're here to do is you're here to how to control your destiny, and that's how I guide you through lessons and teachings of for what was inspired from my book, Change Your Layers, Change Your Life. And that was something my sister said, Mari, if words could heal. And I started saying, universe, give me words to heal. And I started channeling the messages, the quotes, the antidotes that are in this book that also inspire a lot of what I speak on. And before we go into the topic of obsession, I want to, let you know that we're all feeling this feeling of not being present, this emotion that's going and it's traveling through the air. We're all feeling it. We're feeling out of our body. There's a lot of light workers that come to me and they say, I am so sensitive. I'm an empath. I'm a light worker, but I feel like that there's a lot of blocks, a lot of things that's happening. It's time for us to be able to pull back. We're maybe not being as intuitive or being more so, but it's a time for us to kind of reflect upon our energy. Our energy is extremely crazy these days, and we no longer can live in any of the past relationships, past emotion, past fears that we're experiencing. We're going in through a big change, and it's about the wave of energy that's occurring in this planet right now. Planetary wise experiences, the energy is topsy-turvy. It's going crazy. It's that internal feeling that we're experiencing. We don't know if we're tired or happy, we're sad, we want this, we want that, we want new relationships. Maybe we're experiencing a lot of negativity, and maybe the people around us are experiencing, or you're part of that. So be careful, because don't necessarily engage yourself in the drama, but it's part of that transitional change. That it's about that deep cleaning that we're experiencing. Maybe from childhood, it could be karmic, something that you have and you're experiencing that has overwhelmed you, and it's because all those lessons, the karmic, the childhood perceptions are really coming to play. It's about the happiness, it's about the collective energy that we're experiencing. It's not just about you and about me, it's about the collective. We're all experiencing, and that's part of the collective energy. We're experiencing such a dynamic kind of a collective type of energy that we're processing others' emotions, others' feelings, the other thing that it's just handling different for us. We have to work through it. Sometimes we work through meditation, sometimes we work through projects. So whatever that makes you happy, in order for you to help transition this energy, do it. It's whatever's best for us. So start to recognize all the fears that you're experiencing, but don't hold on to it, okay? It's about the time that we can need to transcend it, release it, let it go. It's becoming that collective energy that we're also processing for others. So all the repression, suppression, oppression, the state of mind that we're in, it's about recognizing that new wave that's coming, feeling the level, and stay present. it may be about balancing your energy as well. So it's about balancing, kind of creating those new avenues, those new directions, that new way of thinking. Address everything and set goals to it collectively. It's about we're all collectively trying to shift and change, and we are just part of the process. We're part of the product. So a lot of times that we're experiencing, we're feeling the Earth's energy shifting, the collective energy that's starting with other people. Start connecting with people that are also in the process of healing. Okay, wonderful. Now let's get into the topic of obsession. You know, a lot of people come to me and says, Mari, I have a lot of different obsessions and I don't know how to necessarily deal with it. What motivates this behavior of obsession? It's about the fear that we have. It's about controls of the controlling the obsession that we have. Sometimes we have an obsession about washing our hands. It's something about something that we do. It's about maybe we have a drug issue. Maybe we're trapped somewhere in our mind about whatever may be happening. And we're like, why was I on, I had an obsession of washing my hands or being a drug user or whatever. We may have needed that in order for us to transcend now at this time. So don't beat yourself up. That's okay. It's the past. We can always move forward. So it's about really connecting to our energy, the obsession that we have, and it's because we don't trust ourselves. A lot of times we don't feel like we trust. We don't feel like we deserve it. It could be that we're in a relationship and we're extremely jealous of that relationship. We're jealous of that individual. We don't want anyone who's around us because we don't feel safe. And it becomes that passion that we have, or we have a passion for our career, but it becomes that obsession about us that we lose ourselves. So be careful with the passions that you do have. We have wonderful passions and we can go through them. Make sure that the ego and the perception of possessing and feeling insecure about whatever we have or we don't have becomes an overwhelming feeling in us, and it becomes our life. And then we become obsessed about all the things that we're in the area of the love, relationships, career, even obsession of, having a certain project. So reflect upon that. Why do I have this obsession? What is the fear that I'm experiencing? Okay. It's the idea of lack. How much lack do I have? And so we have to now start to lose that lack, the feeling of not having. And how can you be in lack when you have your body, your mind, your soul, your wisdom? It's all given to you already. Isn't that wonderful? And it's the messages about ourselves, the images. Sometimes we have a bad image. Society plays a major image, image personification. We have to be a certain way. We have to be a size 2. We have to weigh 100 pounds, or we have to weigh 150 pounds for men, or whatever, the muscles and that type of thing. Well, it's great, but that's really part of coming from the ego, part of that fear. But we do have to now create a nice image for ourselves. So we have to also be careful. We have to be able to understand that how much of that is ego, how much is that society, and of course society does play into the ego consciousness, the awareness. We have to start with our perceptions and think, am I not good enough? I'm not loved. So those are the obsessions that we always come into, they're very prevalent. We're among all of us. We're all feeling that. The deceptions is how other cultures also see us. Many times I've traveled some of the world and I've seen different cultures, and they're very loving, accepting of themselves and accepting of others around them. It's about kind of accepting and being loved with others. And it's really kind of a neat thing. The U.S. not necessarily does that, so we're now having to change our mental frame of thinking and how we are accepting ourselves more and more as other cultures accept themselves. You need to create sometimes we create an isolation, which is the most fearful thing that humans have. I'm fearful of being alone. I have no one. I don't have a relationship. I don't have any friends. And then there's that obsession of being more alone because we don't know how to deal with, of the insecurities, the feeling, the drama, the feeling of not having. Okay. We could also have an obsession of our illnesses, whatever that we're experiencing. Maybe we obsess about how our the the certain illnesses growing in our bodies, and we have to really start to think in a positive way, because we have our mind, we have our soul, and we can create whatever that we choose to. We can ask for our body to heal, and we just have to be able to be conscious. If we, how do we relate obsession to desire? Someone says, what is the difference between obsession and desire? Well, obsession is coming out of that ego consciousness, out of that fear state. And creative and desires are part of that creative energy that we're experiencing. The universe creates, the world creates. We create abundance. We create, one galaxy is built upon another. We create a garden because it's the desire that we have, but it's in a very positive way. It's not necessarily in the obsession way that we have to deal, because we have to deal with the fear of not having or lack of. Okay, we have a desire to wake up in the morning, so that's a desire. So that way we can now create out of the desire type of relationship and the desire type of love that we have. Obsession is a compulsion. Sometimes the fear, it's feeling with whatever that we're dealing with. We're not good enough. The obsession of not maybe not having, maybe our desires become distorted. So be careful about the desires. Desire is something that we create in a positive level, but make sure it doesn't become distorted, okay? And maybe you have some blocked energy, and we need to also look at that creative blocked energy that you're experiencing as well. And you have to not worry about the illnesses. Ask the universe to give you divine guidance to be able to help you heal, because through our minds we heal. We create planets, we create children, we create all the things that we desire within the mind and our souls. So don't underestimate your power. And so we have to make sure that we're on track. How much do I love myself today, and what do I desire to do? Maybe I want to, put a garden in, and do it. Do whatever that you need to accomplish, so that way you can kind of create a balance with yourself. And you need to ask yourself, why am I afraid? And what is that fear? And know that you are a perfect being. Just because the way we've been maybe brought up, there's a little bit of misunderstanding, childhood perceptions, whatever that we had in the past. But what we're experiencing is the perfections to reach us into that other level of maybe we grew up serving each other, and I had to always be a servant to my sisters and brothers. I had to always be there. I had to always help them. But now as you're older, you say, I want to be a service to other people. I want to be a light worker. I want to be an empath. I want to be able to help people. And you're still serving others and not necessarily serving yourself. Start with yourself first. Let's see how well that you can give to yourself. How much love can you give to yourself? How much creative energy, desire that you have for yourself. Then you can help others, because you're coming in through that pure form, that non-ego consciousness, not that non-fear type of vibration around you. And that will help a lot. It's what's within and what's without. And we need to not see ourselves in lack. And we need to be of service to each other. We need to trust. Trusting is simple, and it's very, very clear. It's about that connecting to that higher consciousness. It's seeing clearly what you want to do. It's about the entanglement that the ego kind of guides us and directs us. It's our belief system. It's either fear and fear becomes obsession. So look into whatever obsessions that you may have, and start to evaluate how much of that is fear, how much of that is some type of perception that I'm losing myself in my work and I don't do anything other than that, or the drugs that I'm taking, or the energy that I'm in order for you to be obsessed, because it's part of the fear energy. And we be present every moment. Do a little check. Okay, what's going on in my body? How am I connecting? What is that flow of energy? Am I feeling right today? Do I need a nap? Do I need to eat right? Do I need to take care of ourselves? You can see it clearly when you're in the process of obsession, the manipulation that's happening within the government. As you can see it's part of the ego consciousness. The ego creates the government. It's that web of illusion that we're experiencing, that confusion illusion about whatever's happening, and that's part of the obsession. But we have to know that the ego creates the governments, and the government, and we're now playing into that role. So when you're in your conscious level, we need to see things clearly, make sure that everything is falling in that right perception of love, connection, acceptance, consciousness. And it's that depth of illusion that we need to start to look into, and it's visible, and it's becoming so available for us. It's right in your face, and that's what we're also experiencing. And I'm just helping you to kind of get along, guiding you in order for you to create that lack of obsession or the lack of fear that you have. So today's topic was obsession. I do have an email that came to me, and this person was also concerned about the obsessions that he had. And let me read it to you. And this email explained that he had been brought up in a very demanding type of environment with his father. His father was never present, and he felt like he was a middle child, or he was a middle child, and he experienced a lot of ignoring. People were always ignoring him. He had to achieve different goals in his life, and he was very successful in his career, but he doesn't, and his other siblings are not. But he has an obsession about that perfectness about his life. Everything has to be in a certain way, a certain order, or he can't get past that hurt. First of all, it's a lot of fear-based, my dear. And this is John. That's right, John. I hope you're hearing this. And it's a lot of fear-based. And one of the things that you need to start accepting yourself is to say, I've learned these lessons. I was ignored as a child. I was not present because I didn't want to feel the pain that I'm experiencing now. Now you've come to a point where you're experiencing more of the pain. You're experiencing more of the drama because you haven't dealt with it, and it really bugs you. Because within that letter that was also explained how every day becomes a very tumultuous type of an environment for him to be able to even tell his father that he feels like he's still being ignored, or if he asks a question, then he's not necessarily paying attention. That's part of the childhood perception. You really need to start working on more or less loving yourself, and thank those parents for those lessons that they gave you, that emotion that they gave you, that feeling of being in lack, so that way you can find your own strength, find your own power, because it's part of what we're here to do. It's part of your lessons that you had in this lifetime in order for you to come to this place to say, I have an obsession about the things that are in my life, and I don't know how to deal with them because they were not present, nor would have you thought about that years ago. Now that you recognize it, hooray, 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 because you are in the process of connecting, understanding, transcending the energy. But I want you to start doing things for yourself and help yourself also understand that your parents were there, and you didn't come with a manual whenever you were born, and you didn't come with instructions. They did the best they could because they also had parents that were children raising children. And I'm not defending your parents, but I'm saying that you are in a perfect place for you to release and let go. I do suggest for you to do a lot of self-love kind of energy around you. I do suggest that you need to recognize the obsessions and say, this is an obsession. And in doing so, that transcends the energy. It may happen 50 times, it may happen 500 times, but each time that you do that, you're going to be able to shift and change in that very dramatic way. And before you know it, whenever your parents are speaking to you and talking to you, and you feel like you're being ignored, it's not going to bother you as much as it is now. And that's part of that clearing process that you're going through, John. I am so glad that you called on this question, because that was exactly my topic today. And that obsession obsesses most of a lot of people here in this physical plane. We're obsessed with something, with cleaning, with cooking, with serving, with not being in a relationship or our jobs or our careers, and we just don't know how to handle it. So I hope this helps, John. And if you don't get a chance to call into next week, you can always email me with another question, and it's at Mari, M-A-R-I, at mari-rose.com, or call me for a reading, John, at 702-807-6495. Looking forward to talking to you next week. New topic next week, Change Your Layers, Change Your Life. And here's my book. If you ever need to get my book, just email me at mari@rose.com. From my heart to yours, I send you my love. Pass that on. Until next week, bye-bye.
Do you ever feel lost or stuck in life? Maybe you're facing a tough business decision. Maybe you're in a relationship that seems to be going nowhere, and you're just not sure what to do. Or perhaps you're going through a major life-changing transformation and need some guidance. There's no reason to face life's obstacles alone. Mari Rose is a life intuitive, author, and teacher, helping to bring new light to your rapidly changing world. She's here for you, to channel guidance to assist you in navigating your daily life with a renewed sense of clarity, empowerment, and joy. For a personal reading with Mari Rose, call her at 702-807-6495. That's 702-807-6495. Or you can visit her on the web at mari-rose.com.